Hello everyone and welcome to a brand new video, and today I will be showing you a very real and serious review of Gran Velocita, the game that came out literally 2 days ago, or 3 days, I don't even know what date it is. Anyway, we move on, and I must mention that I've done this review literally on the day the game updated, so it might be a little out of date, but maybe I'll do an updated little review at some point in the future based on if the update is actually good or not. But however, I don't really need to say much about the update. I've actually had a great time with the physics and the online mode on this game anyway, so I don't think there'll be that much difference. Especially since I'm fortunate enough to have an iPhone 13, I don't really need to worry about optimization. But that is one of the very small issues of the game. Optimization.
This is not a good sign. Yeah, we're lucky with it. We're lucky and done. It's over. Look at that. What did I expect, man? What the hell did I expect? Yeah, it's, oh my days. Well, hope you enjoyed this PowerPoint presentation. Yeah, I can't even turn. It just sent me straight to the damn wall.
Obviously, take that footage with a pinch of salt. I'm sure that the update for the Android version, and now the iOS version, has made the game a lot more stable. Let me know in the comments if so. I haven't tried it yet, because I'm trying to preserve my f***ing storage. But generally, it is indeed worth it if you consider every single feature in the game, which is pretty good tracks from day one. I mean, I don't really see many issues with them. I've seen some people complain about them here or there, but I really don't see it. Really good car models and a lot of attention to detail, which is one of the most important things to consider when making a racing game, and it's attention to detail. Like, how much traction are you going to get out of different corners? Is it uphill? Is it downhill? Stuff like that. I mean, is it going to really give me the experience of driving a Ferrari 499p, defending from a 5k iRating driver round the outside at Daytona? Not quite, but for what it's worth, for a mobile game, it definitely beats a lot of the others. And if you have haptic feedback enabled on your phone, it almost feels like there's a sort of forced feedback in the game, because instead of just having haptic feedback on the curbs, you get that sensation on the asphalt, so you can feel bumps, you can feel the curbs, maybe even wind, I guess, if you really pay that much attention. But the same really can't be said for the AI. For the most part, they do the job, but at the same time, not optimal. But however, that can be forgiven, as you can clearly tell that the game was rushed to a certain extent. And even with it being rushed, you can just see the unbelievable amount of potential that it has. But I'm kind of slightly relieved that the game did not come out in July. Otherwise, this would be a much bigger issue. Another thing I don't really like is the fact that you don't have a look back or a mirror to really have a reference as to where your rivals are, but you do get given this pretty accurate radar. It works perfectly fine, except for if you're actually online, which I'll go into a little bit more later down the line in this video. And another thing to mention, there's so much to actually talk about in this video. The wet weather conditions can be very interesting from what I last tried out. Maybe it's a little bit better with the physics update that came earlier today, but I can't really guarantee anything. You guys would have to update me on that, because I've got more my career to make and edit. But moving on, and let's actually talk about online, the most confusing game mode ever existed to man. Like, just have a look at that shot there. I think that tells you what you need to know.
Not working this week.
So yeah, from what I last saw, online multiplayer definitely needs a lot more work, as lobbies begin at different times for everyone, which is the most confusing thing ever. Well, the last time I played it, of course. So I could start a race in Monza and get told the 5 red lights are on, yet there's somebody who's 20 seconds down the road. And that really just makes you not want to do the race anymore. And another thing that's very odd has got to be the rating system. So here I am at 0.1 because I kept quitting up so many races due to being about 20 seconds off the leader before I've even started the race, like this example here at Monza. So I think to myself, do I really want to do 15 laps of Monza without racing anybody? No. Yet somehow, I actually gain rating from that. So, definitely does need a little bit of work, but nice to see a rating system being implemented. Hopefully, if like online becomes popular enough, we'll actually see an ELO-based system where you race people at your level. And obviously, a lot of visual glitches with online, which really do confuse you, but if you can just ignore them and you don't really mind all the lag that you see in front of your eyes, you can have a pretty good race. However, I've seen that I finish P2 clearly and I end up winning the race, which I'm not complaining. So yeah, I've claimed about 2 or 3 victories by finishing second, which is very interesting. However, every so often, you do get a race where someone's got pretty good connection and you actually get to race wheel to wheel and test out the contact model. Meaning, yeah, every so often, you can have a good race. But in conclusion, Gran Velocita has a lot of potential. Obviously, there's a lot of bugs, which I think really should have been expected with the level of graphics and level of detail that the game has promised. Not every phone is going to run the game perfectly. But with all that being said, you've got a game that's laid down the foundations in such a way to the point where if it does iron out any issues or bugs, it can genuinely be a very good and well-working game that is very in-depth and very in detail. So I can't really wait to see the game actually have, like, say, some league racing or something along those lines. I think it'll be very interesting. But that is the end of today's video. Be sure to like and subscribe for more content, and I will see you all in the next one. Goodbye.